Hello. So I have a family member who is purchasing a home soon, and I'm doing this video mainly because I think that a lot of people don't know what I do, and I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for me to be able to explain what I do and explain things to look for the things that I do. So, um, I am an insurance agent for an insurance company, obviously. I've been working for the insurance company for about five years. Um, and so, what kind of insurance do I do? I do auto policies, I do homeowners policies, I do renters policies where you are the tenant and I help make the policy for you to protect your personal belongings. I also do rental property. That is where you are the owner of the property, but you don't live in it, you have a tenant. Okay, and I'll kind of explain a little bit about that. I also do jewelry policies, often called personal articles floaters. And then I also do umbrella policies, which is an additional liability policy. Kind of break it all down a little bit. So the video might be a little bit long. Um, it's just so that way I can help my family. So, first things first, we'll do auto policy. So, auto policy, pretty easy. Each section of the auto policy is uh, covers something different. So, what I'm doing right now, if I'm not paying attention to you, please don't think I'm being rude. I'm just going to pull up my auto policy. Anyway, so each section of the auto policy actually has different meanings. Each meaning, it's going to depend on your company as far as how in depth that they are willing to go when you call and you have questions. Different insurance companies are going to have different coverages, and that's all across the board. It could be various different reasons why they have different coverages or different contracts. But the biggest thing to pay attention to is each of the sections. Now, the insurance commissioner, each state has their own. They say at a minimum, this is what we expect you to have. Now, some insurance companies, they stick with the minimum. Some insurance companies, they add a little fluff. Different insurance companies are going to have different fluffs. So it really depends on the insurance company that you choose. So I have USAA. I actually got USAA through my service to our country. And then I met Jess during that time, and that's when I got him on board with USAA. It's military based. So if you have a family member who has served, you have served honorably, they have served honorably, currently serving, that's okay. They do need to be alive for the membership piece in order to get them set up. So if you feel like you fall into that category, please reach out to them so then that way you can get your eligibility through them. Now, so auto policy, you're going to have different coverages. And so I'm going to kind of show you, the pieces and then we'll go over what each one means. So let me flip this over. I guess I can't flip it over, so I won't. Anyway, so you're going to have different pieces on the auto policy. You're going to have your bodily injury liability. That's if you hurt somebody else in an auto accident, then your insurance company is going to pay out to the limits that you have on your auto. So I'm looking at my declarations page right now, which is the declarations page is what tells you what coverages you have for which vehicles and the premium for each vehicle and the drivers on the policy, etc. So anyway, we won't get into that. So bodily injury liability, if you hurt somebody else in an auto accident, if you have $50,000 per person, $100,000 per accident, that means $50,000 is what your insurance company is going to pay for that one individual. If it is anything over that, that's an out-of-pocket expense for you. Okay, so it's really good to have higher limits because medical expenses are actually going up. Okay, property damage liability. That's if you hurt somebody else's property in an auto accident. Again, we're talking auto. That is whatever the limit you have on there, $50,000 per accident. That is all the insurance company is going to pay. Anything above that is out of pocket expense for you. Now, that is going to typically with USAA, the coverage that I have in my contract, and again, you need to talk to your insurance company, they are going to cover if you hit another vehicle, if you hit a house, if you run into their home, anything like that. Your medical payments, some states have it, some don't, or I should say insurance companies. Medical payments, there's different choices. Some insurance companies have different choices. So you can choose whatever. Just keep in mind, medical payments, that's usually paid out regardless of who's at loss, at least for USAA. I don't know. So everything I'm telling you is based off of USAA info. So whatever you have on your auto policy, regardless of who's at fault, that will be paid out. So if you have 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, that's how much they're going to pay out. That medical payments, that could be for medical, physical, like therapy, things like that. So again, you need to look at your contract and check that out. I'm in the state of Colorado, so Colorado has uninsured motorist bodily injury. Very similar to the bodily injury that we talked about before. That's if somebody who doesn't have enough insurance or maybe underinsured, which means someone who doesn't have enough insurance. And if they injure you or anyone in the car, then the insurance company is going to pay up to the amount that you have on your auto policy. So if you have $50,000 per person, $100,000 per accident, those are the limits. Again, anything over the per person is an out-of-pocket expense for you. Okay? Now that's for you and anyone in your car. So it's not like you're going to say, hey, Joe, thanks for riding with me today, but you got health insurance? Is it, some of these things you don't talk to people about before they get in your car. And you don't know these things until after you have a loss. So you definitely want to take a look at your insurance and make sure it's good. Some states have uninsured or underinsured motorist property damage. Colorado is a state that doesn't. And that's because you cannot, in the state of Colorado, you cannot have this, the uninsured motorist property damage, and you can't have collision at the same time. In most cases, collision is better if you have to choose between the two. We're going to get into the comprehensive and collision too. Comprehensive, that is if hail, theft, collision with an animal. Those guys, if you have financing on a vehicle, you are supposed to have the comprehensive coverage on the vehicle. If you do not, then you can decline it, but that means liability only. That means only your bodily injury and only your property damage will apply. That means if it's not a total loss, you're going to be rocking that piece of fun stuff if you can't fix it, because that's going to be an out-of-pocket expense. Again, liability only is if you do not have comprehensive and collision. If you have comprehensive and collision, that is full coverage. Okay, full coverage means you have a deductible. The deductible is the amount of money that you're responsible for. So in our example, like for us, we have a comprehensive deductible, hail, theft, collision with an animal, $300. I chose $300. Yes, my premium may be up a little bit, but $300, I know at any given time I have that in the bank. So if something happens, I can pay that out. Now, there are some schools of thought that say, I want the less amount of premium as possible, so they jack up those deductibles. Okay, do that. But in a loss, you have to have that money or the vehicle won't be fixed because you don't have that money. Again, talk to your insurance company, see how that works. Let's see, my screen went dead. There we go. Collision. Collision is anything other than an animal, light post, vehicle, guardrail. If you have this coverage, okay, you get to choose a deductible. Again, a portion of what is you're responsible for. okay, in case of those types of accidents. For us, again, we have $300. And again, we pay that first. Some companies have rental reimbursement, some do not. Rental reimbursement is if the car is in the shop due to a covered loss, that means an accident, and you have it on the policy, then your insurance company will help you get a rental vehicle. Some insurance companies, some states, they have dollar amounts and they have classes. For us, we have the economy class. My kids are older. We can all jam into a car. We don't have to worry about car seat. But if you have to choose a class or a dollar amount, get clarification on what that means for the insurance company. Okay. Economy, super small for us. Again, I have no car seats anymore. I don't have to worry about that. Think about what your family needs. Towing and labor, that is, of course, roadside assistance, helping the keys, if you lock them in there, get them out, towing you to the nearest repair facility. Again, ask your insurance company, what does that entail? Okay. Let's see. We talked about rental reimbursement. Oh, so for us, we have accident forgiveness. Again, ask your insurance company. I don't know if they have something like that. Accident forgiveness is if there is an at-fault accident for anybody in the household, USAA will forgive the surcharge that's there. But if you have a second accident in 36 months, which is the chargeability period, right? Then that second accident is going to have a surcharge. Okay. Again, talk to your insurance company. Some insurance companies, also with USA, car replacement assistance. Car replacement assistance, ask your insurance company. For USAA, it is at the time of a total loss. If we have it on the policy, USAA will give us 20% more of the actual cash value. So easy math for me. Let's say one of our vehicles is only worth $1,000 and we get into a total loss. We have car replacement on there. We'll get 20% more. So we'll get $1,200 instead of $1,000. See what I mean? And of course that number will change as the actual cash value changes. Okay. I'm just looking at my policy packet. Sometimes some companies will give you a mileage discount. If you have it set up on automatic payment plan each month or for pay in full, they'll give you a discount. Sometimes each vehicle may have their own discount. So if you use the club, if you have an alarm, if you have the VIN etched on the glass, on the glass, not the traditional metal plate in the dashboard, on the windows. Okay, there's two different things. Airbags, multi-car discount, multi-driver discount, things like that. Each driver may also have a discount, but the discount is based in some states on the driver's age. So definitely see, hey, is there any discounts I can get? Defensive driving discount, drug and alcohol awareness discount, I'm in school discount, full-time. I mean, anything. Just say, hey, are there any discounts available? That's typically what your auto policy is going to look like. If you have a newer vehicle, you may have a new vehicle discount, passive restraint discount, let's see, daytime running discounts, whatever discount. So definitely when you're reviewing your auto policy, make sure that you understand exactly what you have, because if you don't understand what you have and you have a loss, that's again an out-of-pocket expense for you above your limits that you have. Okay, so this video is almost 15 minutes long, so I'm not going to keep going into the homeowners, the umbrella, the renters, rental, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to do them separately. So they'll be uploaded. If you want to check them out, you want to share them, you can share them. But again, the bottom line is understand what your coverage is. Okay. Alrighty, we'll talk to you guys later.